Good morning, my faithful loyal YouTube subscribers. Today is Friday. It is Friday the 12th. The year is 2021. It's a rainy day here in Georgia. It's going to be raining. I have the window open. I don't know if you all can hear the rain. Now with my mother gone and I'm back to living by myself, I can open up the windows and turn on the fans. I'm kind of a hot-natured person. My mother, she was really cold. She was always, I'm cold. And so I had to turn the heat up, close the window. They bought her a little heater, so we can, because she needed, she's much older than me, and she needed to stay warm. But now I can open up the windows and let this cool air in here. The window is open. It's nice and cool outside. I just had the fan. I had to turn it off so y'all can hear me on the fan. But I'm kind of a hot-natured person, so I can't sleep. I have to sleep with my window open, fans gone, early as you can play. It's freezing in here. I'm like, I feel good. Go sleep in the other room, motherfucker. And for a long time, we did sleep in separate rooms because I kept my room so cold. And then, especially when I was getting ready for bodybuilding competitions and stuff like that, boy, I had to really turn that air conditioner on. So over here, it's very rare you will feel the heat on in this house unless it's freezing outside. Because when it's really freezing out, when people walk in and my heat is on, they say, hey, it's really cold outside. You got the heat on. Anyway, I had this long conversation with a friend of mine who he moved here from Chicago, and he's been here for a few years, and we always talk about the gay community and the kind of the crazy stuff that happens within our community. And we were having a discussion about if you know anything, excuse me, I'm belching, y'all, excuse me. Coffee did this. If you know anything about the gay community, a lot of you all should realize that there are a ton of black gay men involved in the Christian religion, singing in the choir. They're singers. What do you call them? Gospel singers. You have a slew of black gays involved in the Christian religion, pastoring, choir directors, shouting, pantomime, whatever the people call them, gospel singers, well-known gospel singers. The church is just known for being filled with gay guys. But at the same time, the church is the same place. Many churches, black churches in particular, can continue, and white churches do it too. I just read some article about some white churches kicking out another white church in Atlanta because they let gay folks in. So white folks do too. But white churches, Christian churches in particular, still are ostracizing and denouncing homosexuality when they have so many members of their prestigious churches. I'll use that word very vicariously. But yeah, you got some big churches here. And when I first moved to Atlanta, the thing was, all my friends would get up on Sunday morning and go to church. You ain't going to church, get dressed, go to church. And I'd be like, go to church? We just went out to the club all last night. I'm tired. I'm trying to lay here on this couch and sleep. So I'd get up, get dressed, and we all go to church. And sit up in that church, they'd be there. It was just like another day. It was basically another night at the club. So we in the middle, it's Sunday morning, we in this church screaming and hollering, they dancing and jumping around. And I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, so y'all, I'm not used to seeing people doing the shaky leg in church because they got the spirit, the gospel spirit, or whatever. So it was quite amusing to me for years to go to these churches here in Atlanta and see all these gay folks. Everybody's like, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Oh, and see all these gay folks. And then the pastor would start talking about gays and homosexuality, and the church would go quiet. And then he'd go on about with his offering. Everybody back up and jumping again. I'm like, did anyone not hear what this man just said? But the choir's gay, the choir director's gay. More than half these people in this church is gay. Is gay. I can name many churches where I went to and this took place. And I always thought this was very bizarre to me. And as I started to meet these church-going Christian homosexuals, I found them to be the most despicable people I ever met in my entire life. I mean, despicable. Biggest whores, liars, cheaters, thieves, crooks. But they're in the church every Sunday. It reached the point that I had to say, okay, I can't deal with these church-going Christians. These church-going queens, I didn't want nothing to do with because they lied too much. Biggest thieves, you couldn't trust them with any damn thing. Con artists. Just the worst despicable characters you ever could meet. And they were gospel singers, dancers in the church. It was bizarre to me. And I was like, okay, because maybe I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness. And I'm not saying the Jehovah's Witnesses don't do crazy shit either, but I was a kid too. But as an adult, you know, it was shocking to me to meet guys who were constantly running around with a Bible, constantly saying how religious they were, constantly throwing out Bible scriptures. And then people say, oh, that's when they come around and be like, oh, your church don't say nothing. But this person was doing the most despicable, lying, cheating, thieving, killing. You know, another thing, when I came to Atlanta, I have to remember I moved here in 1989. Not when that was a while ago. Let me get back, because sometimes I forget I'm old. Let me see. I moved here in 96. This is 2020. Let me calculate that. Now, thank God these iPhones got calculators for the old folks. 2021 to track when I got here, 1989. It was a good year too. 32 years I've been sitting in this motherfucking town. I need a Greyhound out of here. Fuck, how am I thinking? Okay, but I'm still sitting here. I need to call Greyhound and say, how much in tickets to Miami again? Shit, maybe I got to carry my one of these damn couches with me. Anyway, so 32 years ago, I moved to Atlanta as a Jehovah's Witness in my mind, because I hadn't been to no churches, and I would meet these gay guys. And at first I thought, oh, they're in church and everything. I thought they were good guys. Oh, no. That's when I found out they were having sex parties. They were the ones going to the sex parties. They were the ones throwing the sex parties. They were in Piedmont Park, had late at night, having sex. They were the ones in various bathhouses and bookstores and movie theaters. They had movie theaters here that showed porn movies. Back then we didn't have no internet, and fans only. Only fans, whatever that shit is called. They had these porn houses, which I never went to. But my friends were creeping in. They said, we saw Pastor so-and-so in there. I said, Pastor, from such and such a church? Yeah, he was in there. And I'd be like, well, what was he in there doing? But you think he was in there doing this thing? I said, oh, I don't know. What was he in there doing? Because y'all have to understand, I did not know at that time how many gay people were sneaking around in Atlanta who were involved in high positions. Pastors, ministers, deacons who were gay, who were sneaking into these gay environments. These risky gay environments. Now, I'm 50 years of age. I ain't never been to a bathhouse. I ain't never been to a bookstore. I ain't never been to no gay movie house. None of that shit. It just wasn't nothing I wanted to do. I was always fearful of those places because of this thing called HIV and AIDS. And besides, that just wasn't my forte. I didn't want to go and be involved with that mess. But I had some friends who are all deceased now who liked these activities. And they would go to it. 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, where we going? We going to the bathhouse or the bookstore. You going? I said, no, I'm good. I got back in bed. I said, well, oh, no, y'all go ahead. Yeah. We need your car keys. Why do you need my car keys to go over there to the bathhouse or the bookstore? Oh, because my car ain't working right. I got something going on. Can we use your car? No, you cannot use my car to go to some bathhouse or bookstore. Hell no, y'all gonna be sucking dick in the back of my damn car. No, bitches. And then you have to get firm with these hoes. I can tell you about them idiots back in there. They're all deceased now. But they was something else. But I ain't gonna borrow your car. And then I said, y'all better not bring that trash back into this damn house. I was sick of that mess. This was prior to me waking up and having a revelation and getting my own place away from homosexuals. Because at one point I had roommates for a few years, and then after about in the early 90s, about 91, 92, I just made the determination, this ain't working, I need my own spot. And from that own place, I was living on my own most of the time. Until, I was living alone. Me and I started dating Earl. And then Earl moved in 1998. He should have moved in 2020. I don't know what I was thinking in 1990. I was with the new wave people. We gonna move in together. Everybody know what I know now. No, you gonna stay over there, and I'm gonna stay in my house. So it should have happened. But anyway, that's long water on the bridge at this point. But anyway, back to these church going nasty, low down, disgusting ass Christians. I can't stand their fucking asses. Anyway, I went to a party a few weeks ago, and there were some people there at the party who didn't like me. Like that, they ain't like they looking like me like this. They looking at I'm holding my little cranberry vodka, smiling at people. Hey, how you doing? Good. I'm doing great. And they look over there. So I see them looking at me, but I don't pay these people no attention because, you know, people be mean bugging me for no reason at all. But I'm sure it's about this YouTube channel, of course. So anyway, later on, this was the night that they burned down that Wendy's. And as all this excitement was going on, the city was saying they're going to have a curfew and all that stuff. So I said, man, I need to get my ass back towards Decatur. We in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic. Niggas burning down Wendy's and riding on the highway. So I said, I got to get on 285 and go all the way back around instead of going back to downtown because I was out in College Park. East Point, College Park. So I was going to either have the church either go back into the city or take 285 around. So I said, I better get my ass on 285 around. I know this traffic's going to be tight. They didn't shut off, close the highway because the niggas out there protesting in the middle of the highway. So anyway, as I made my polite goodbyes, guys, because it was a little earlier, but I was going home. I was tired of sisters in that damn way. So I said, well, I'm about to go on home because I was tired. And there was all this shit going on in the city. Rioting, shootings, killing, all who knows what was going on. I'm going home where it's safe. And then I should have been over there anyway because the coronavirus is still attacking. You killing people. I had my little mask on. I put it off, drink, and put it back on. With a bunch of people there. They're supposed to be playing cards. Nobody ever played cards. Long story short, I left. When I left, they started talking about me for the next hour. Now I'm gone. They talked about me for a whole hour. Why? And one of the queens that was there was one of them church-going Christian queens. Because she kept throwing up Jesus and God and all this stuff. And I look at her like, her, please, you got Jesus' phone number, bitch. But anyway, and when she was really trying to attack me, because but at that point, I kind of realized she knew who I was, but then I really didn't give a fuck because I was drinking my vodka and cranberry and I was watching my phone, watching the excitement over there when they was burning down this Wendy's. Oh my God, they burning it down. So I was thinking about their asses. But anyway, but I left there talking about me for a whole hour. They pulled up videos. They argued about it. Some people liked me. Some people didn't like me. But it was the church-going ones who really didn't like me. Oh, they found me to be despicable. So one dirty queen who didn't like me, I found out later to another friend of mine, oh, that was so-and-so. He's the guy to have all these sex parties now. I said, huh? I said, yeah. And see, like I said, there's something very bizarre and strange. How could you be so involved in the Christian religion, but you are participating, not only participating, but you are the person who's literally setting up and having these sex parties and inviting people and making a profit off of this. And one of my friends said, that was so-and-so. He was the guy to have all these sex parties, and that's why I brought my like he's mad at you because you put them Christians on blast with their activities. And I said, I wish I'd have known who that sister was. I went after her at that party because I had a friend of mine Southside. I probably would have never got invited back over there again, Southside. Well, I ain't got invited back since any damn way, so I should have took that opportunity to cuss them sisters out. I don't have time for all that shit. Y'all, when I left, y'all supposed to be sitting down playing spades. But y'all spend the next hour combing through my videos, analyzing them. They helped my views that night too. But anyway, I don't pay attention to, I don't know what it is about these guys who are religious and gay. Because I'm a firm believer, this is my thoughts and opinion. I don't think you can be gay and Christian according to what the Bible say. Now, if you're going to follow the rules of the Bible, you can't rewrite the Bible to satisfy your selfish desires. Follow the rules. It's the Bible. You're a Christian. What it say in that good book. Right? See, to me, the good book is fake. Christian religion is fake. All religions are fake and man-made. So I ain't got time for that shit. And when I was going to those churches, as a young person of growing up as a Jehovah's Witness, I always wondered what would the other churches like since I never attended any of those. And as I became of age and could now make the decision to go to these churches, I realized it was a horrible place. Bunch of people jumping and singing and dancing and jumping around, and they collection after collection after collection. I would get so tired of that collection plate rolling around. I'm like, damn, we just gave some money. And I was like, put something in there. I'm like, what? I just gave a couple of dollars. Put some more in there. I'm like, this ain't my church. I'm just here with y'all. I'm in the sightseeing section. Visiting. You know, and every time I would visit, and every fucking time I would visit my friends, whether it was New York, Washington, D.C., or Chicago, we in church Sunday. I'm like, what is this? Get up, we going to church. I thought we going to brunch after church. So of course, I'm like, okay. That's when I started getting my own hotel room. You come to church with us? No. I see y'all at the brunch. Shit. You know, sitting in church. I'm kid y'all now. We'd be in New York, Washington, D.C., or Chicago, Los Angeles. We in somebody's church. What the fuck is this? We're on vacation. But they be all dressed up. Well, I didn't bring no clothes to wear to church. I didn't think we were going to church. They literally dressed to the nine. They got to get out their finest minutes. I throw on a pair of jeans. How'd you wear that? I said, well, you didn't inform me church was on the schedule. Yeah, I'm wearing this. You can tell me that I asked you, you know, you should have told me that they knew I wasn't going to want to go to that shit. But I went on with it. It was very entertaining. In every church I went to, nationwide, was a bunch of gays in there. And there were straight people too, but there was a lot of gays. A lot of them. A whole bunch. I never forget, I was one time in Detroit. Oh, they were worse. We went to this church up there in Detroit. I couldn't believe my eyeballs. People I thought were straight were gay. After church service, this thug, Detroit known for having some gay thugs. And this guy came up and did this outfit on. He's like, I saw you last night at Heavens. I said, you did? I said, oh, okay. We exchanged photos, and a friend of mine said, oh, don't talk to him. That nigga crazy. He's shooting all crazy kinds of stuff. I said, oh, okay. But he is sitting up in church, right in the front, pastor. So I never understood. And this is the thing that I have to say about church for black people. It's entertainment. Because they ain't getting nothing from it. It's entertainment. They there every Sunday for entertainment purposes. They like the choir singing. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Jesus gonna save the day. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Jesus gonna save the day. Jesus gonna save the day. Jesus gonna save the day. Hey, Jesus gonna save the day. Jesus gonna save the day. Hey, Jesus gonna save the day. All dancing around the church. They love that shit. It's entertainment. And I'll be sitting there like, okay, these niggas at the club now. They just did a remix. Well, was that a remix they just did in this church service? Yeah, remix. I said, okay. And then they would do, sometimes the choir would sing songs that we heard at the club the night before. They done switched it up. I'm like, oh, that was did they just play that at Bulldogs last night? I know I heard this song at Loretta's. Is this the house version? Am I going crazy? This thing, oh, okay. We clap along there back at us. Entertainment. Because they ain't getting a motherfucking thing from these churches. And I've been to churches all over the United States. Detroit, Chicago, Miami. I'll tell you about Miami. Miami, we went to church in Miami. Years ago in the early 90s, I visited some friends in Miami. We all jumped up and went to church the next time. We've been up all night at these clubs. You go to this church. I said, oh Lord, here we go again with this church mess. And it just got to a point where I knew we were going to go to brunch afterward. I just had to sit through this 8-hour church service. Oh Lord, that's what it felt like. But gays love going to these churches. But be careful. The ones, and I don't know if that has changed or not because I ain't been to a church and Jesus knows when. But I don't know if crowds are gay. I kind of get the feeling that they still do this stuff by looking at my Instagram page and scrolling through my Facebook. I see people posting the choir in church. There's still people in these churches. Excuse me, they ain't walked away from that Jesus mess yet. But in the early 90s in Atlanta, scandals started to break out where these pastors would get sick and die of AIDS. The pastor would die, the wife would die, church members would die, deacons would die. I mean, it was scandalous. To the point where you would hear such and such a person that this pastor died from AIDS at this church and blah, 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 his wife died. And you would listen and you say, what the fuck was going on here? Because them pastors was where participating in homosexual sex and not using protection, and they were dying. They would get AIDS, and you can't pray AIDS away. Back then, medicines wasn't all that great. And many times they probably didn't find out until it was too late that they would have full-blown AIDS, and I was about to use that term no more, that they had their T-cell levels had dropped so low. Back then they said, they have full-blown AIDS. Oh, yeah, you have full-blown AIDS. That's not politically correct to use those words anymore. So, but anyway, a lot of people will die from complications related to HIV, or AIDS, as they call it now. So, but it was shocking to see all these pastors and wives and deacons and church members drop. And I'm like, okay. I mean, you're talking about churches went out of business because the church died of AIDS. But I was there and saw why. So in the 90s, when HIV swept through Atlanta, there was so much risky sexual activity going on in these churches. I mean, the pastors were in the bookstores and the bathhouses and the park settings doing all kinds of shit. And my friends were right there with them. I was with so-and-so. They bragged about it. I had sex with pastor so-and-so. I wouldn't say a word because, back then, I would get cussed out. And I really just didn't say nothing. I just said, oh, okay. And just listen, you fucking a pastor in a park. In the park. Is this really worth bragging about? Literally. You in a public setting. And I have had friends who were in college and in school get arrested in places like the airport, Piedmont Park. They were going through all kinds of stuff, and they would get charged with public something. I forget what it's called. But that's a hellacious charge to have on your record as you try to find jobs and work. Some people couldn't find jobs for years because they had that lewd public activity or public nudity. Something was on there. And it's kind of hard to explain to an employer, well, what were you doing that you got this charge? Well, I was in the men's restroom at Hartsfield International Airport, and I had another man's penis in my mouth, and he put his mouth on my penis, and then we got busted by the police. That's what happened. You gonna explain this to your employer in human relations? I bet you won't get a job. But I have to give it that charge, Charles. I know a lot of people who had this charge, and they had a very tough time finding employment. Lewd behavior, I forget what that charge is called. Yeah, and that's why I said, if you're going to participate in sex, gay or straight, go to your home. Go get a cheap motel room. Shit, that don't cost nothing. They got motels in Atlanta as low as $20 and $30. I remember years ago, I was dating this guy years and years and years ago, and he didn't like my roommates and stuff, so we go get an old cheap motel. He go get this here. It wasn't bad hotel, but it was back then hotels were a lot cheaper. And I just lay up all night with him drinking stuff. We lay up. If I'd known what I know now, I should have kept that nigga. Because he was not involved in the gay community, but back then I was still entangled in the gay community, so he didn't like being around them other gays, but I was right there with the other gays, going to the clubs, movies, theaters, the restaurants, and church. Silly me. When I had a nigga that liked me who didn't want nothing to do with that nonsense. Don't know what happened to his ass either after we fell out one time because I was too busy hanging with my friends. I'm only with my friends. Well, I can't do that tonight. I'm doing this and doing that. He just get tired of it. I don't blame him. He went on about his business. Very foolish for me, but water on the bridge that happened years ago. Things happen for a reason. I lost let a good one get away then. I said he kept encouraging me to get my own place. How'd you get your own place? I'll help you. But I was doing a couple of, I got roommates and, we work together. So I should have listened to that nigga and got my own fucking place far away from them damn sissies. But you live and you learn. And I have learned I don't like them church-going Christians, them church-going sisters. I don't want them around me. I'm not hanging out with them. I don't trust them. They are dangerous. They don't even realize their behavior is what they're doing. I've seen it all dealing with that crew of people. But anyway, it's 10 o'clock. And so it's time for me to keep it moving. I got this 32 years in Atlanta, my anniversary. 32 years, a long time in this dreadful place. And here I sit painting walls and fixing shit up. Like, gonna be another 32 years. Oh, Lord, what the fuck am I thinking? Anyway, I did a video yesterday about Grove Park neighborhood. Y'all might want to make sure you watch that video. I know a lot of y'all skip past it. But Grove Park is a historic black neighborhood that's going through gentrification at the early stages. So you might want to get in there and get your piece of one of them shacks over there while you can. Might be too late, but go look. You never know. Grove Park, it's a good area. Anyway, Microsoft is investing millions, hundreds of millions of dollars into that neighborhood. And it is a historic black neighborhood. You never know. I've seen some houses very cheap in the past few years. I don't know what they're selling for now. I couldn't tell you. You have to go over there and look around and see what you can find. Knock on some doors like Jehovah's Witnesses. Is this house for sale? That's what white folks do. You might want to do the same thing if you're looking for a home. Go to that area because you never know what you might come up with. Call your real estate agent. Call somebody. Call Keisha. The mayor Keisha Bottoms, and say, "Man, girl, can I give me a house in Grove Park? Any of your cousins got anything for sale?" You know, she's from that area, so you'll give her a call and ask her. She might have some relatives who desperately want to sell their old raggedy house for $390,000 right now, which might be a good deal in this market. Good luck with that. Anyway, I'm out of here. And enjoy the rest of your day. Today is Friday. It's February 12th, the year is 2021. And yes, we're still in the coronavirus pandemic. And nothing has changed. And I will see you all later.